Hey guys, we're back with another episode of Taco Imposters for today's Saturday, October 10th, 2020. So today is not, but when this video goes up, it'll be Thanksgiving. Well, Thanksgiving in Canada because in America they have it on, because in Canada they have it, because I'm in Canada, so in Canada we have it on the second Monday of October. In the States, they have it on the last Thursday of October. Last Thursday of November. And I have no idea why we do that. Let me just look it up. Like, why don't we do it earlier? Let's see. But yeah. I was watching Cinemassacre do, like, their, like, LAN party. Where, it's not really a LAN party, but it's connected to LAN. I don't know. I never did LAN parties. I'm way too young for that, but right? Right? But that's what you did to connect computers to computers, right? Yeah, I believe so. And that's what you did in the, like, 90s? Like, the mid to late 90s? Around there. Yeah, I think so, yeah. And they were talking in the video, and it was, what's his name, Ryan was talking about in the video how, it was really complicated first, and then it got really easy, and then it got just really, like, annoying to do, because you had to, like, update things, and switch, and that's why nobody did it near the end of, like, LAN parties, apparently. I don't know. I never did LAN parties, so I don't know. So, don't know. Where's, there we go, Thanksgiving Canada. Let's see what do you say why it's... Okay, Thanksgiving. Someone's called Canadian Thanksgiving outside of to distinguish it from the American holiday of the same name is an annual Canadian holiday occurring on the second Monday in October, which celebrates the harvest and other blessings of the past year. But that's what the American one's supposed to do. That's what, like, the regular Thanksgiving is supposed to do. So, Thanksgiving has been officially celebrated as an annual holiday in in Canada, since November 6th, 1896. While the date 1879. While the date varied by year and was not fixed, it was commonly the third Monday in October. On January 31st, 1957, the Governor General of Canada, Vincent Massey, issued a proclamation stating a day of general thanksgiving to Almighty God for the bountiful harvests with which Canada has been blessed, to be observed on the second Monday in October. Statutory holiday. Yeah, it's a statutory holiday for us. I think it's a statutory holiday in the U.S. also. I'm not 100% sure, but I think so. Wait, today is Thanksgiving? I'm confused because Thanksgiving Monday, isn't it? Yeah, wait. Second Monday in October. So what the hell you... Oh, 2022. Okay, 2021 is... Wait, I'm so confused. Because it says right here the dates for them. 2021. Oh, okay, 2020 is the 12th. Okay, there you go. That's why. I was like, what? Okay, there you go. Yes, okay. Thanksgiving is a statutory holiday in most of Canada, with the exception being the Atlantic provinces of Prince Edward Island, Newfoundland and Labrador, Nova Scotia, and New Brunswick, where it is an optional holiday. What? Ugh, that's stupid. Traditional celebrations, blah, blah, blah. History, there you go. According to some historians, the first celebration of Thanksgiving in North America occurred during the 1578 voyage of Martin Frobisher from England in search of the Northwest Passage. His third voyage, blah, blah, I don't care. Somebody just decided it to be then, okay? After the 7-Year War ended in it's not it just goes into the history of freaking Canada. What do I care? Lower Canada, Upper Canada, why? Oh, no. Well, the Governor General just decided it to be the state. And they wanted to distinguish it from American Thanksgiving, I think. From what I read on Wikipedia, it sounds like from Wikipedia article, Thanksgiving Canadian, is Thanksgiving in brackets Canadian if you want to look it up yourself. It basically sounds like it's just the Governor General chose just some random date, and he decided it to be this date because in Canada it was always done in like October anyway. So he was like, do it this way. So anyway, to distinguish it from the Americans in the like, oh, it's not gonna be November. It's not gonna just be like the second Monday in November, and then there's this, whatever 2 weeks, 3 weeks later. No, it's gonna be whatever. So, whatever. So anyway, that's that. Yeah, so for the animation, there were part like I'm getting far in the getting somewhere in the animation. I don't know what it's gonna be, but it's somewhere. Getting somewhere. But anyway, getting somewhere in the animation. So it's good. It's good. Got like the first little bit done. First little bit thing done, and then it will get somewhere else. So yeah. You see, I never played games that actually had a lot of online anyway as a kid. So for going back to like a LAN party thing, I didn't play a lot of games that had online as a kid. I'm not even sure if I played a single game that had online. Now, maybe, but even if they did, I had no idea. Right? I had no damn clue. Like, not a single clue. Like, I have no idea. I wouldn't have had any idea as a kid. I didn't know it was a thing. So, I was very stupid as a kid in that regard. Like, I was very, like, I didn't know anything about anything as a kid for video games like that. You told me that, it would have blown my tiny mind. I'd be like, I can play with someone on the other side of the world? Why do you... No. Like, no. Like, yeah. You can. Like, no way. No way. Did I get out of it? Did I get out of it? But yeah, so. Yeah. So yeah, it would blow my mind, my tiny little mind. Like right now, I just put in a game, Lego Chess, right? I still love that game as a kid. Program or features so that you cannot start or run due to the incompatibility with the 64-bit version of Windows. Please contact... Dang, see, I can't play it on here, but I can go back to... Let me just see if I can open it. Can I? Oh, no. Anyway, so yeah, it doesn't work on Windows. Damn it. No, I can't. Damn it. Anyway, so yeah. Yeah, it would have blown my tiny little mind if you told me that, because I had no game. Well, yeah, I wouldn't have known that anyway, but still. Yeah, so. Well. Anyway, so yeah. And then today I was thinking about how, like, TV shows were, and how just... Because I was looking at this shirt and I went, oh, in the 80s, this was one of the, like kick-ass, like, TV shows of the 80s, right? You know, next to, like, G.I. Joe and Transformers and stuff like that, right? And, like, He-Man and I think Thundercats was the 80s. Anyway, stuff like that, right? And then I was thinking, like, my generation had none of that, not even one of those. And I'm thinking of all the shows that I watched as a kid, and I was just like... And I was thinking of the whole generation between, like, 2000 and 2010, right? So, like, that whole decade. And I was like, they just pumped out so much that kids didn't even have time to take in what was what. It was pretty baloney, in my opinion. But they didn't even have time to, like, take in what was going on. It was just so much TV as a kid. I talked to so many people, and they would just, oh my, like, and they would just, like, watch and watch, like, 2, 3, 4, 5 of my friends all were just like, yeah, I just, like, watched and watched, like, it just kept going, like, and obviously, every kid did that, you know, in the 80s, they did that, or in the, like, you know, every kid just did it, unless their parents told you, like, stop them, they watched and watched and watched, but it was a different kind of, like, you got to a point when you knew bad was bad, right, in those, like, 80s and 90s, right? And I was thinking, they got us with the reruns of things like DuckTales and, like, whatever, like, shows from the 90s, right? Like, good shows from the 90s. Recess and, you know, kind of, I think Recess is 90s anyway. Anyway, right? Stuff like that, right? were like they got us with those things, and then they kept us with just the sheer amount of it. Because like in those like other decades, the previous decades, right? You knew, okay, you got to like the point. Okay, this is bad. Like the bad, like you stopped when it was bad, right? But also you stopped when it just stopped, right? Because the 2000s is also like the advent of like the like kids like just like the like startup of all the like kids channels just dedicated to children. So they played like 24/7, 365 days a year. Like there was never a stop in any way, and so you could just sit on that one channel forever because it just never stopped pumping out something to watch. So like both kids and they just stopped in the past decades. But like I just remember like just a sheer amount of just pumping in your face, like, and kids didn't, and a lot of kids that I knew didn't care. It was just because there was so much. It just would just go on, you know. Like we didn't care. Like there was no like, oh, this is bad. No, by the time we had like thought, okay, I'm gonna stop watching this, we unconsciously like watched the whole thing, or like 90% of it, or like whatever, more than half of it. And we're like, well, we can't stop now, right? And then I'm thinking to myself, like, there were a handful of shows that I just did not watch. For some reason, I never really watched it. Which is weird because I was one of those kids who would watch literally anything. Like, literally anything. Like, I didn't care what it was. It was just the sheer, I just gotta watch, right? I just have to watch. Like, it's going, I just have to, like, I don't care. Because your brain kind of, almost, after a certain amount of time, at least my brain, it just turned off and just didn't care what it was. And just, like it had that, like, and then, like, you, obviously, I was a kid, too, so I didn't know the concept of time. I didn't know the concept of how many I watched. I didn't care. I just watched. And there's still shows to say. I can name you that I can remember. Like, the 3 or 4 shows that I just flat out refused to watch. I would never watch. It was stuff like Ben 10. For some reason, I never, and I remember, now I look back at it and go, that one had no reason to not watch. It was actually a decent show. It was a fine thing. It was just, I didn't want to watch it for some reason. Then there's Ben 10. There was, what else? There's Ben 10. There was Johnny Test. I remember that show. That show I didn't like. That show I distinctly remember not liking. Being like, that's a terrible show. Right? It's just a bad show. Now, is it that bad when I look back at it now? It's pretty, whatever. And then there was like, something called Ruby Gloom. Those are the 3 shows that I can remember. And then there are a lot of shows that I just, like, didn't get to during the day, or didn't get to during those parts, or didn't get to, like, and a lot of these shows, the reason I didn't watch them was also because they were in, like, the slots of, like, that I was watching TV. It was, like, they were in the random, like, I had to pick them out, you know, the slots that I chose to watch TV, they weren't ever in, and when they were in, I just turned them off, because I'd be like, I don't like this. But I think a lot of it was more to do with, like, it wasn't in the slot of time I was watching TV, right? Because I think if it came, or if I knew what was coming up next, I would maybe tolerate these kind of shows. Because I was not going to turn them off and turn it back on. That was not happening. For me, that was not happening. So, for me, I was like, oh yes. If it was, like, in there, I would have probably tolerated it, yeah. Not that it was necessarily good, like, I would have thought it was good. I just would have, like, tolerated it to get to the next show, too. That was the other thing, too. If there was 1 or 2 shows in there that you didn't like, it didn't even matter, because if you had shows you liked, you just tolerated them and just moved on. Because there's so much. It was just so, in the 2000s, there was so much consumption of it. You consumed so much of it that it didn't matter what you did. Like, how you, in terms of, like, it didn't matter if they were terrible shows and you hated them. Even if you did hate them. A lot of people I also talked to said that, too. They tolerated some of the bad shows, too. Because slots were so big, too. It's like when you're watching, like, the classic Saturday morning cartoon, like, slot, where some kids, like, some people would, would like tolerate the one show they didn't like because they would be like, I don't like that show very much, but it was only like one or something or two or whatever, right, of shows you didn't like in that slot, right? It's like no. For me, I remember lots. Well, actually, I remember times when I'm like, I don't love this show, but I'm gonna tolerate it because the next show is great, or the next show is great, or the next show is great, or you just wanted to watch TV. You didn't care what it was. Like I didn't have that mentality of open the TV and I don't like this, so I'm not watching now. And I was not gonna wait for a show, no, unless I knew when the show was supposed to come on. Right? I would. Unless I knew when the show was gonna come on, I would only come on for that show and then like leave, whatever. Like, but that was the other thing too. I was one of those kids where if I started it, I would just be like, oh, I could watch another. Like, I don't care what's next. Really, I'll watch another thing and then I'd watch 12 hours of TV. So anyway, and then unless I knew when it was, I wasn't gonna wait. And if I turned on the TV and saw a show I didn't really like, I didn't really care because I had the mentality of, I just want to watch TV. I don't care what it is. I don't care what it is really. I just want to watch TV. And boom. I just watch TV. I just watch. I don't care. So, I'm not saying I watched good TV, and I'm not saying I watched, like, the worst of the worst TV in my generation, but I'm just looking back in retrospect to stuff like this, and I went, and, Ninja Turtles and Transformers and DuckTales and like the good shows, right? And I'm just like, yeah, I don't know what I was thinking with some of the shows that I watched. But it was because I literally didn't give any kind of hoot whatsoever. I did not care. None. I did not care. I just wanted to watch. I've told this story before, my best friend did the same thing. So, we just watch, and watch until we didn't care until the cows came home. We didn't care. We watched, 7, come back at 4. And we didn't do this, every day for, our whole childhood. But we did this, 2 times a week, 3 times a week. It was ridiculous. Oh, it was bad. It was bad. It was bad. But hey, what are you gonna do, right? Anyway, so yeah. And then I remember, so many, I mean, there weren't that many, right? But I just remember a lot more than there actually was of, what's it called? Of shows between shows. Or shows that weren't exactly 22 minutes. They were, shorter. Of these weird, and a lot of them were storytelling shows. It would tell you a story about something. I remember one about a cat. I don't remember what the heck it was called. It was like a cat. See, I'm trying to think of what those are called. What's called? Because there's lots of things between commercials too. It's what's it called? What's it called? What's it called? Untalkative Bunny, that's the one I remember. Yeah. I don't know. That's one. It was just a bunny that didn't talk. Anyway. Cat. Let me see if I can find it. Cat TV show. And then there are a lot of TV. I mean a lot of TV shows where I'll either remember the theme song or remember little blippets of it, but never remember the show for the show, the whole show as a whole. There's a lot of them I remember the theme song to, and that's it. Let me see if I can find it. I want to see if they put the. No, they don't have that. Okay, I look up cat TV show, and then I look up what they used to say at the end of it, which is That's Another Tale for Another Time. And you get Basket Case by Green Day. What the heck? Well, I looked it up on YouTube, so let me see if I can get it on Google. Not timeline. The concept is that Max is a cat with no tail. Max the cat. That's what it was called. See, Lost Treehouse TV shorts. That was on Treehouse? I thought that was on... No. Okay. The concept is that Max is a cat without a tail and travels the world in search of his tail. Oh. He gets into adventures and learns about the places he visits along the way. Every episode ending with the phrase, "But that's another tale for another time." Tail as in the tail. Oh my god, that's what it was called. Max the cat. YouTube. Come on. Max the cat. Max the cat. Max the cat. Max the cat. I want to see. Max the cat recording. Yeah, there we go. Somebody recorded it. Oh, I want to see this. Oh, I want to see this right now. 6 minutes of Max the cat.
Now here's a recording of Max the cat, which appeared after Grandma Look What I Found. Let's get this storm started, shall we? Yes.
God, anyway, I don't care. Just give me something. It was like a short thing. Okay, yeah. This is it. Well, I mean, his white balance is crap, this guy that I'm watching. Oh, there he goes. Ooh, it's good.
Now here's the
Yeah, he was like one of those like pumpkin cats. Whatever they look like. I don't know what kind of cats those are called. Is it just me? Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, but I remember it being a lot more, like stylized as like painting looking or drawing looking, not like this. Let me just see. I know I'm getting like engulfed in this, but I want to just see for a second. That's it, with a sparkle in his eye and everything. That's amazing. I found it. Oh, that's amazing. That's what that was. Then there was another one. It was called, I think it was called like Snail Olympics or something. Snail Olympics? I think it was called Snail Olympics. Anyway. Oh, that one was weird because I remember it being specifically volleyball. Or maybe soccer. But apparently it wasn't either of those things. That TV show. What was it called? No, it wasn't called that. Maybe it wasn't called that. What was it called? Maybe. Let me just remember what it's called. This one too. I remember this one. Oh man. Wow, it's loud. That's loud. For your big fat information, this is my imagination. Our imagination. Yes, I remember that one too. That was a good one too. What was it called? It was called, if I can find it now, Freaky Stories. No, Freaky Stories, I don't remember watching that. Snail Olympics. That's what it was. Yeah, that's it. It was a claymation show called, or again, I don't know if these were shows because I don't remember them as shows. I remember a lot of these things as like weird in between things. So like, well, because a lot of these kids channels also touted these like no commercials thing, which was a bunch of baloney because they would put commercials, or eventually put commercials, or like, or they had commercials, but because a lot of their like definition of no commercials was, oh well, we can put our own like ads in it though, and we can put our own, like those are commercials. What are you talking about? The only way there would be no commercials, at least this is my definition, right? As a kid, right? As a kid, my definition was only way there would be no commercials is if there was literally show to 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 show, no break, 22 minutes, 22 minutes, 22 minutes, 20 minutes, 20, like, and it never was. So to me, it was like, there's commercials in this. It was kind of like how Family Channel, unlike Disney Channel, Family Channel had no commercials between the shows. The shows never went into commercials. And the other thing probably was there was no breaks in these shows, so there was no commercials in these shows. Commercials in these shows, like Family Channel didn't have that. They had no commercials, right? And but at the end, there'd be freaking 8 minutes of gosh darn like Family Channel crap, and I hated it as a kid. I remember that. I was like, this is so stupid. Why? I'd rather have commercials. It's just that when a show ended, I could get to the next show. I didn't have to wait freaking forever. Is it basketball? Anyway, yeah. So yeah, like I remember hating it. I was like, what is this garbage? Kind of like, what stupid crap is this? Isn't it? Okay, it's really weird, but I remember YTV. I think it was like Youth TV or Young TV or something like that. Anyway, bumpers, like the things between, like the commercial bumper weird things. Oh, those are nostalgic to me. It's weird. There are a lot of bizarre kid shows I used to watch. Like, I think back to them now, like, they're really bizarre. Like, what? I remember one called Potatoes and Dragons, and it was basically like a kingdom, so it was night's time, kingdom. And they were literally potatoes. And I don't remember clearly, but I think I remember remembering back to somebody would always die, and they would make him into like a baked potato or something, because the dragon would always burn him. Somebody would die in the episode, I think. Because the whole thing with that was there was always a guest that would come. Not a guest, but like there was a visitor that visited their town. And I think the whole thing was they had to try and kill the dragon. I don't remember what the point of this. I don't know. Anyway. Oh, God. And then there was just some bad jokes. Oh, my God. I remember Duck Dodgers. Now, okay, I only learned about it recently that Duck Dodgers from Looney Tunes is supposed to be a ripoff of Roy Rogers. Is it Roy Rogers? Or something in the 25th century? Is that what it's called? Roy Rogers. No, Rogers in the 25th. Let me see, is it that what it is? Is it Roy Rogers in the 25th century? What is it? Let me see. Is it? I don't know. 25th. Something in the 25th. Century spell difference. Okay, there we go. I don't know. Something in the 20th century. Okay, is it Roy Rogers or Buck Rogers in the 20th century? Is it Buck Rogers in the 20th century? Buck Rogers in the 25th century. That's what it's called. Right. Not Roy Rogers. Roy Rogers is the cowboy. Buck Rogers in the 25th century. So Duck Dodgers is supposed to be a ripoff of that because Duck Dodgers is called Duck Dodgers in the 24th and a half century. Was really only one short of that? I'm fairly certain there was more than just one short in that. Because I made a TV show out of it later in like... Because this is the best. Which I remember watching... remember loving the show. I honestly remember loving this show. But it was only on for like... Did it even get one season? I think it did. I don't think it only got one season. But anyway. Oh, man. Oh, man. What a show. Anyway, yeah. So I remember this. This is a good one. Oh, man. So many... Tyranny, okay. Yeah, oh, there's a lot of, like, shows that I look back at now and I go, oh, God, that was really bad early. Really bad early. Man, that was my fucking childhood with Looney Tunes too. But anyway, bad, like, computer animation stuff. Like the Dodgers. What else was it? Oh, Beast Wars was bad for, like, that kind of stuff. Oh, there was one about a guy in a video game. I can picture it right now, but I don't know what it was called. I can picture it right now, but I don't know what it's called. Ooh, Johnny Bravo. Never watched much Johnny Bravo. No, I remember it being on, though. Yeah, Teletoon. That was yes. The memories of Teletoon are flooding back into. I'm reading the comments right now of the Looney Tunes of the Bugs Bunny TV show. Oh my gosh! Watch this. Most nostalgic at 8:00 on time. Was it 8:00? I thought it was 7:00. I remember being 7:00. But yeah, it could be 8:00. Oh man. RetroJunk.com. Let's see what that gives me. RetroJunk. Is that a thing? Oh, there's a lot of that too in like, oh gosh, there's a lot of that like, in your YouTube video, it would have like a watermark of like a website, but the website was never a real website, which to me was like, what? I never got that when they were fake websites. I mean, it wouldn't happen very often, but there were certain times when I was like, because a lot of time, or sometimes it would be the YouTube channel, right? And then .com. Or like something weird. But not that it was the worst, but like, what? Anyway. That's what I remember doing. Teletoon was a great channel. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This was a weird show. Ripping Friends. It's ripping time! That's the spirit. Let's rip them apart. That was a really bizarre. It was a very, very, like, gruesome show. Also, I was really young, but I was gonna say, it was one of the shows where it had enough episodes. I might have been just really young, because I'm gonna say, it was one of the shows where it had enough episodes to loop around back to itself, and I would never notice. But I think I was just really young, like. I think if I watched it a little bit older, like, cause I watched it when I was like, I want to say 7. But it could have been even younger, like 6 maybe? Ripping Friends. Anyway. Yeah. So I think I was just too young to realize it, but I think if I watched it more like 9 or 10 or 11, I would have started to notice, wait a sec, why is this just... Why is it just looping? I've seen this episode like 3 times. That's the other thing too. It wasn't just like on certain days or certain like points in the week it would just repeat. No. It would repeat these shows would always repeat multiple times. And so it's very easy if there were less episodes to see that same thing like 3 times a week. Like, yeah, okay. That same exact episode, you know what I mean? Yo! Yvonne the Yukon, what a show. And that's a lot of shows that I know the theme song to. Like, I know the theme song to, I've never watched a single, I know for a fact I've never watched a single episode in my life, but Dragon Ball. Not Z. Dragon Ball. Just Dragon Ball. I remember, Yvonne the Yukon was a great show. Registered Hypercam. This is a great show. Just listen. It's such a good show. Listen.
Yeah, There once was a Frenchman, Yvonne was his name. Exploring the worlds he dreamed was his fame. But reading a map was not his forte. So poor Yvonne was soon cast away.
Yvonne of the Yukon, sailing the stormy seas. Yvonne of the Yukon,
No one could hear his pleas.
He soon found himself in a bit of a pickle.
The frigid North Seas proved more than fickle.
Yvonne's navigation would soon cost a price.
He was knocked overboard
and turned into ice. Yvonne of the... Oh my god, this was a great show. This was a great show. Well, actually, I don't remember much of the show, but from what I remember of it, it was good.
300 years passed and with some irony,
History was thought of by what's need to be.
Yvonne claimed the land for his country's glory, and that's the start of the Yvonne story. Yvonne of the Yukon, frozen by icy seas.
Yeah. So, oh,
Of the Yukon,
it's getting really into this.
Defrosted for you and for me.
Yeah, let's go. Anyway, so yeah, keep going. What else is there? Yeah, there's a lot of shows that I remember the theme song to, but don't have a clue of the show. Like, I don't care. The whole thing's up on YouTube? Nice. For Yvonne of the Yukon. Yeah, there's one... Well, no, I remember a show called... I remember watching the show, though, but a show called, Monster by Mistake. Ugh. Monster by Mistake. Certain the show started my depression. How? Something I was... How? You win pinned comment. Julia Molly, what? This is one of the greatest cartoons of all time. Oh, my childhood. Great times. Viva la France. Viva King Louis and Yvonne. What was it called? It was called Shonen King. I think I remember that show too. No. Nope, don't watch it. Yeah, and I think it was Teletoon that had a lot of animes on it, like, that I just never watched. But I watched... Or was it YTV that had animes? I think YTV had the animes. Cause I remember it had Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh! It had Beat 'em On. I think it had... Gosh, it had... what's it called? Oh. It had... Oh, just said the name! Dragon Ball. It had a Dragon Ball. It had a couple other ones, too. It was so good. And I never watched any of them except Beat 'em On and Pokemon. And Yu-Gi-Oh! A little bit. I didn't watch much of Yu-Gi-Oh! But I watched a bit of Yu-Gi-Oh! Blue's Clues. Zoom! Dragon Tales, yeah. Between the Lions. Proud Family, yeah. Dave the Barbarian. Oh. Wait. Ricky Sprocket, and then there was a...
Mr. Whisker, what's in the kettle and ready to boil? Brandy and Mr. Whisker.
Fran.
Whisker, what's in the kettle and ready to boil? Brandy and Mr. Whisker.
What's that called? It was called Ricky Sprocket. Ricky Sprocket. There you go. What was the other one? There was one with a squirrel. I was trying to remember what one today. I was like, what's the one with the squirrel? There was the one with a squirrel in it. I don't remember what it was called. Ricky Sprocket. Ricky Sprocket. Yeah, he was a robot. Ricky Sprocket was a robot.
Ricky Sprocket.
Or no, Ricky Sprocket was the star. He was the, like, movie star guy. Yeah. And then I remember lots of shows. Just, I guess it shows how much, like, content over the art style. And kind of like how video games were like, story or content over graphics. Where I just remember a lot of shows being like, I do not like this art style. This is a bad art style. I just remember that. Like, this is one of them. I remember distinctly as a kid not liking this show at all. For the art style. The art style was bad. But again, it was another one of those, I didn't care. I'll just watch a bit of it. It was like... Squirrel... TV show. No, it wasn't Scaredy Squirrel. It wasn't Scaredy Squirrel. He had a squirrel. Kid had a squirrel as a pet. No. I don't remember what it was. Oh my god, The Great Adventures of Billy and Mandy. That was a great one too. Okay, I gotta stop now. Or soon. So yeah. Let me just find this TV show. Oh, yeah, it was Urky and Perky, I think it was called. Yeah, life was good and hot dog stand. All the bugs are food to stand. Mission run the competition. Now just one question. How do we find our way back home? Because they were like on a hot dog stand and they got into a bag and they got put into a kitchen like a rig. Was he a squirrel or was he a chipmunk? What was it called? I don't know. I've got no much time, so let me just try and find this. But if I can't find it in like 30 seconds, I won't do anything. That's Scaredy Squirrel. Was it Secret Squirrel? Could have been Secret Squirrel. I don't know. I need to look at what the picture would look like. No. Maybe it wasn't a squirrel. Maybe a chipmunk? I thought it was a squirrel. There it is. It's called Squirrely Boy. Or Squirrel Boy. Squirrel Boy. That's what it's called. Squirrel Boy. Squirrel Boy. Yeah, there we go. Squirrel Boy.
Hey,
Rodney. What was his name? Yeah. There you go. Yeah, anyway, I think that'll be it for... Wait, let me just finish this theme song. It's like... I think that'll be it for now. Okay, so I think it'll be it for now, guys. So, again, in the description, if you want to get in contact with me, questions, concerns, it's, email address is tacoimposter@gmail.com. There's the Discord and the Patreon. You want to see better stuff? Support me on Patreon. Tell me what to do with this camera, 360 camera. Tell me what to do with the podcast. Tell me what to do with videos in general. Tell me what to watch for Halloween, all that stuff. I think that'll be it for now, guys. So, adios, mi amigos.